Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Maheshkariya. You're watching me on YouTube now, and in this session I'm gonna take you through entire journey of IT career from scratch to end. And if you are planning for the very first interview, if you don't know anything about what to learn and what not to learn, if you are a fresher, if you are finding for job, and if you want to learn everything, every basic corner cases, if you want to learn, this video is specially designed for these people who don't know about anything about software industry and all the parameters like Jira, GitHub, what to learn, like which databases, which front end, which back end, all the questions that are popping up inside your brain. So don't worry, in this video we are gonna learn each and everything from scratch. I'm gonna deep dive into all the things. I'm gonna let you know what is the best roadmap for you if you know something and if you are interested in something, it's whatever it may be. So without wasting any time, let's deep dive into it. So my first question would be, do you want to be a software developer? Like, there are multiple things, by the way. Let me tell you, it's not only a software development. There are a front end, there is a back end, there is a DevOps, there is a cloud computing, and much more. UX designing, Scrum Master, Spring. There are a number of frameworks, Express, Node, Dino, blah blah blah. So we'll start with absolute basics. The first thing first. So this is what you need, which is a kind of software engineering. Okay, so you don't need a degree, by the way. Okay, you don't need a degree. Okay, so I'll call it IT, which would be great. Okay, so this is IT, and if I click here, now I can drag this. So thank you. And now I am gonna create few components like this. This is first component, and this is my second component, this is my third components, because there are various components inside any industry. Okay, and this is my IT industry, so I'm gonna add few more components. Okay, so let me grab this. Okay, so here we go. This is enough. Let me add the text now, and if I click here, so this would be my FE stands for front end. Then this is my BE stands for back end, and this is my DevOps. Okay, this is stands for all the server related things. Okay, and let me use one more thing, which is UX. Okay, and this is completely different thing. If you are not interested in programming at all, if you are a designer, this is something for you. If you are a little bit good in programming, but you don't want to make a much logic and don't have to not interested in mind work. Okay, so FE is something for you if you are a UI lover. Okay, B something if you don't care about the UI styling. If you're not good at, you can definitely choose your career in backend. And DevOps is something that is all the things that is made by B developers and FE developers. DevOps is comes last into the picture when you need to host somewhere, host to deploy, like through which the any domain to purchase, any and number of cloud things comes into the DevOps thing. And after that, the last step would be this is not a last step actually. This is something throughout the development you need to know, that is Jira. This is the major term, by the way, or any agile. I'll use agile methodology. Okay, you might have heard about this term, because see, if you have n number of developers, 1000 developers, how you will manage all the hierarchies. Okay, and for that we need agile developers who take care about system requirements, product requirements. They gather information from client, they understand the situation, they make the stories, they divide the work using sprint planning and a number of things. That's why agile comes into the picture. And for doing job into any IT field, you need to know this agile. What's going on inside here is this is something is very important. This is done, and now the best part comes, which is my favorite, is DB, which is the part of BE. By the way, I can directly assign this thing to this thing, because in backend without database you can't do anything. Database is something where all the data is getting stored, but database is not something that we can learn through within a day. Okay, because there are n number of databases. You might have worked on MySQL, SQL, Oracle, MS SQL, MongoDB, CouchDB, Redis, Apache, Hive, Druid, whatever it may be, and basic two parts, okay, of database that I'm gonna represent here to you guys, and that is two parts. Okay, actually there are more, but I'm gonna stick to the basics. So one thing is SQL. There are types of databases. First one is kind of SQL database, and another one is kind of NoSQL database. Okay, after that there is one more database, that is actually two more database. First one is for doing cache storage, but maybe we'll include that later, and GraphDB to manage the graph. Imagine if you are working on any Bayus like applications, and where you need to detect the graph of any student, like the progress and this kind of stuff, we definitely go for the GraphDB. And there are a number of other databases like time series databases. If you have like graphs and a number of things are you are monitoring any time related things, like in 2015 the graph would be like this and that, so for that we use GraphDB and time series database. Okay, so this is directly connected to this. Okay, let me grab this one more time. Let me use this to here. Let me use 5 again to here. So this is a type of databases. Now if I grab this entirely, so from here to here, can I do this? Not sure. Oh, I can't do this. This is weird. This is absolutely weird. Can I use Control or Shift to select this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, and this thing? So if I do if I drag this here, now I can share with you guys like what are the main databases that you should know. So for if you are looking for as a database administrator, you can do the career in MySQL, which is a kind of database I would suggest to go first. If you are not familiar about the database, this kind of first database, no matter like which language you want to know, which language you know already, MySQL would be the great choice to learn the basics of SQL. And by the way, you can directly go to W3 schools, okay, and you can search for this would be the first, because when I was a very beginner 10 years before, I was going through this things only. Just go for the SQL tutorials, learn these things, tutorial points, and tutorial points is also good choice. Okay, just go for tutorialspoint.com and just go and search for the SQL. You will see a number of things over there, and just learn all the SQL. But let me tell you what are the important interview questions. Okay, for if you go for SQL, there might be a common questions like what are indexes, material views, okay, inner join, outer joins. These are the basic questions. Please prepare. Okay, without that you can't crack any interview. After that, in NoSQL databases, you just don't need to learn anything, because there are major differences between SQL and NoSQL. Is any relational data, okay, like banking, where you have multiple relations like between users, their accounts, salaries, and a number of things that you need to manage. That kind of data always comes into the relational database. That's why we call it relational RDBMS or Relational Database Management System, and SQL means stands for Structured Query Language. To query that data into the huge tables, you need SQL, a language that understands and gets the data for you from the database. That's why we use SQL. Okay, the next thing, NoSQL. Why NoSQL came out? Because there were a few things was not correct in the SQL databases, because you need to define the columns, let's suppose like Excel sheet. Okay, and these columns you need to be very sure what you want to make. Okay, and once you make some columns, then you can't remove it. Okay, because if you have inserted 100 rows, maybe if you delete the column, the all the data of the columns will get deleted. But if you use NoSQL databases are kind of flexible. You don't need to write the schemas. It's kind of flexible. You can insert n number of columns you want in like let's suppose I have let me open my editor. Maybe this is something running in my editor, so I'm gonna choose new one. So this is kind of data will look like. Okay, where you have a data like this. I'll have data like name, it would be Mahesh. Second data would be email, and that would be mahesh@gmail.com, and the last data would be password, and that would be pass at 123. And this is how the data we can store inside or SQL database or NoSQL database. But in SQL, if you define this many of fields, then you should enter this many of fields only, not apart from that anything else. If I want to add phone number, okay, here I can't use phone number because the schema is made for this three only. And that's why the NoSQL data came out, where you can insert n number of things that you want. So this is the major difference between the SQL and NoSQL databases, where in NoSQL databases the read speed is very fast. Like let's suppose I'm opening Google, and if I go to the Google and if I search for something like here Maheshkariya, so the suggestions that you are getting is really very fast. And for that also, the another database that we use, it is search database. By the way, so this data that we are getting right now, and this is super fast because this is coming from the kind of databases which is NoSQL database. Okay, and this can't be possible in SQL database. So this is the best example that I can tell you for now. GraphDB, I already told you guys, like GraphDB always detects the graph, and it is kind of nodes. Unlike your SQL and NoSQL databases, GraphDB is something rarely we use for rare cases. So don't deep dive into it. If you are a beginner, just go for this two only. Now we'll go for the UX. Okay, if you are a very beginner, you just wanted to start with the kind of designing things, the very first software you should know is about the Figma, and Figma is really very popular. If you haven't used it before, just go here, sign up. This is absolutely free. You can sign up with Google, Gmail, whatever it may be. I'm gonna log in. Actually, I did sign up already. I'm gonna log in with my official account. It's maheshkariya@gmail.com. If you need any help, just feel free to mail me. It's Maheshkariya. It's my username. You can find me anywhere on the internet, and this is something where I make my thumbnails. Okay, this is super easy. Let me show you quickly like how I do these things. Okay, if I click here, if I go here, let me duplicate this, and here you can directly have this kind of UI. Okay, by the way, this is not only for the UX designer. If you are a FE developer, one UX guy will design something here. He'll tell you that I need to make something like this. Let me show you the I have made it. I made already the few of them just vanished somehow. Okay, let's suppose this one. Okay, so this UI if I made and you want to incorporate in your front end, you need to know all the color combinations, all the hexadecimal codes, and that are the things that you will get it from this templates. Okay, so this is how you will get the mock-up things, and this is how you will get all the data like this is the color code, this is how we, this is the distance and all the things. So for every developer you should know the Figma. Please go, if you wanna, if you have plans to go into the UX, by the way, if we have a good salary for UX designer, so don't get depressed. If you go for DB administrator, you can do your career in DB as well. You can go for your career in UX designing. You can go into the agile as well if you are very good for understanding the things, if you are very good to explain the things, writing what are the requirements. Agile is something for you, but for that you have to become a scrum master, and become a scrum master is not that easy, because you need to worry about all the developers. You need to have command on that timeline that everything should be delivered within a time, and something goes wrong, you need to be very prompt in managing relations between the developers and managing the situation. That many kind of things with the bunch of experience of bunch of years you have to have before become a scrum master. So that I will suggest to not go directly for scrum master. So Jira is something that is paid. So you, what you can do, you can YouTube and you can go the things and learn the things. This is all related to the timeline, like one task is going to take 1 day or 2 day, how to divide. In every 15 days there will be a retro where we'll decide what's going on, like what was wrong things, what are the right things we did, all the things. And it is very important, by the way. I forgot one major thing, which is in which you can't make the future, but which is a essential things to know. Okay, and that is Git. If you are not good at Git, Git is a version control service to manage any code. Okay, for front end, back end developer, you need to have Git access, because if you are planning for interview, if you don't know the Git, you will get rejected very easily. And in this tutorial I'm gonna deep dive into GitHub as well. You just need to go to the github.com, you just need to sign up here, and here in that right side corner on the plus button you can create a new repository quickly. Repository is something where we store our code, okay, and where I have you can follow me on GitHub as well if you want, guys. Like this is super easy, and let's suppose for that you have to install git CLI as well on local. Okay, so this is git CLI. This is available for all the system, Linux, Mac, Windows. You can install it for your system, and once you have it you can open your terminal, okay, or command prompt if you are using a Windows, and you just need to check git-version. Okay, and if you get this message, it means the Git is available inside your system. Now you can directly create a new folder. Okay, you can directly rename it, name it whatever it may be. I'm gonna name it MHESH, my name Mahesh, and I'm gonna change my directory to desktop, and inside that I have directory Mahesh. Okay, the very first command you will do is git init. To create any project you have to do this thing. Whatever you are writing, hello world thing, whatever it may be, you just need to create. Let me open this any editor. Okay, by the way I use Visual Studio Code, and if you are not familiar about the editor where you write the code, okay, and you can grab this from VS Code, code.com, or code.visualstudio.com. okay, code.visualstudio.com. install this for your system. Once you have it, you will get this nice beautiful UI, and after that once you drag your folder on the top of that, you can use Ctrl plus J or Command plus J in order to open this terminal, and here you can write the command instead of writing into the terminal. So you got your integrated terminal where I'm gonna create a new folder. Let's suppose my index.txt. okay, might be HTML would be the great choice. You might have familiar about HTML, and here I'm creating a normal hello world project. Okay, this is my hello world project, and I'm gonna do git init quickly. So I have just initialized the git repo. If I do git -ls-e, you will see this .git repository got created, but you can't see here. This is got created here. Okay, now if I add something, if I need to add this, by the way you can use this thing as well. Okay, so you can see all the changes here, like this many of changes I did. then you can hit this plus button. If you don't want to learn CLI things, you can write the message, I have just committed my first repo. Okay, so this is it. Hit here on commit. Now you can hit this publish branch, but for that you have to have a GitHub branch here. Okay, and I have created a new branch. I'm gonna create a new branch. I'm gonna name it Mahesh. I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna click here. Okay, by the way, this is not available because I already have this, so I'll say Mahesh test, and then you can hit this create option. Okay, why I'm telling you guys, because this is very essential. Whatever the technologies you are working on, if you are planning for software industry, this is something that you should know before proceeding. Okay, and then you need to connect this remote origin to your local origin. Okay, and once you do that, you can directly publish it from here. Okay, choose the branch, choose the public repository. It's Maheshkariya. Okay, because public is free and private is paid, so that's why I'm gonna choose public so everyone can see your code. GitHub repository already exists, Mahesh. Okay, I just don't need to do that. Let me hit escape. Let me go again here. Okay, let me use publish. Now it's gonna get published. Would you like to git fetch? Yes, I can use git fetch if you want. So if I refresh this page, your code is gone to github.com. This is your very first commit. But imagine if thousands of developers are working on the same repo. Now how you will manage, because everyone will have a branches, and number of branches you can create here. Creating branches also very easy. Git branch -b new branch. Okay, you can provide a new branch like new. Okay, great. Git branch first you will check in which branch you are. So you are in a main branch. Okay, so let me hit q new branch. Okay, so -b generally we use in order to create a new branch, but this is git checkout actually, not branch. So for that I'll say git checkout -b. So new branch got created. And if suppose if you are making some changes, if one of your friend is making changes here, okay, and like hello world and hello Mahesh. Okay, Mahesh is making changes. So for that I just need to again go here, add. By the way, I can show you the commands as well. So like git add file name index.html. okay, then you will say git commit -m test1, then you will say git push. So all the commands, now you just need to paste this upstream origin. So all the commands are given already. If I refresh this thing, the new branch will be created for. This is absolutely free, whatever you are doing here. See, now from here itself, you have, if you haven't created any pull request yet, you can create a pull request. Main branch is the client. If working on the main branch, you can create your own branch. You can check the commits, whatever the changes you have made, like the way you can check the things, you can write the description here. Okay, now you can provide the labels, projects, assignees who will review your code and create a pull request. Okay, and once you create a pull request, because I'm the owner and I'm the I have both the branches, I can merge my commits. But like the way you can create, and someone who is checking or the owner can see this merge button. He'll check your commits by going here. He will provide the reviews that this is the thing you are doing right and this is the thing you are doing wrong. And like the way he'll go here, he'll check your commits. Okay, he'll click here, and actually he can do anything. Okay, he can, if I can click on code, I can't see my code, by the way. This is weird, but once you get commit, you need to resolve your commits. Okay, like the way. And once you resolve your commits, then only your PR will get merged. So this is how the Git works. Okay, no matter from which background you are. Okay, you need to know how it works. Okay, now I can merge this, confirm the merge, and yeah, the PR is merged. So these are the basic things you should know. And now let's go to the another topic. So we took a lot of time in Git actually, but it was very important. We took a lot of time in DB as well, but it was also very important. If you are using VS Code, by the way, there are n number of database. These are the extensions, database extensions that are available from here. You can search for MySQL or any database that you're working on. You will get the like this. Okay, so let me show you a few of the examples of database. Okay, for that I have a Docker, and let me start Docker quickly. By the way, if you are not familiar about Docker, Docker is something that allows you to create all the virtual environments inside your system. This is also very essential. So please install this. Okay, on the top of Docker, you can install any database. It will be virtual. You can create or delete very easily with few commands. You don't need to install it manually inside your local systems and remove it from your local system. That's why I always prefer to use a Docker. And for that, let me create a new sample database. Okay, let me show you how database actually looks like. Okay, and then only you will come to know how easy it is. Okay, and for that I'm gonna open my terminal from here, and let me create one file which is docker compose.yaml file. And through this, okay, by the way, if you don't want to go into the Docker thing, it's completely fine. You can directly jump into the official MySQL page. Okay, like from here you can go to the downloads, directly install the database inside your system, which is really very time consuming. That's what I felt. So before that, please go with this step. Okay, this will save a lot time. That's why I am adding this topic here. So this is how we can write the templates. This is how we can provide the services. Okay, this is super easy. Like we are writing something, we are this script is written in a such a way that everything should be easy. So where we can find, we can provide the image name. I can write anything: MongoDB, Postgres, MySQL, any database. Okay, ports you can define 5432. Every database has their own port, like 3306 for MySQL, 27017 for MongoDB, 5432 for Postgres, through which you can access. Port is something kind of route through which it will get connected into that virtual container, and volumes that we use to persist the data. So this is also super important if you are good at Docker things. Okay, now what you have to do is to hit Docker compose up. Okay, and once you do that, your database will get created. Okay, and if you go here in Docker, you will see this Postgres is running. Now I already have this thing. Okay, now let me edit the connection, this extension that have everything that you need to know. So do you guys remember that we have this password, user, and DB? So DB name is DB, user is user, and password is password. This is super easy. So username is user, password is password, and DB is DB. That was the easiest way. Okay, let me save this. So this is connected. Now you can see the tables here, but I don't have any tables, so I'm gonna create a new table. You will get the command easily. Okay, and if I run this thing, it should get created. The table got created. You can see here the table is actually got created, and we don't have the data. That's why you can see ID created at, updated at. Whatever the commands that you have, you can directly write here actually. Okay, so it would be very easy. And if I go here, if I design the table, okay, you will see the data. In database you have the things like name, type, comment, length, default. By default you want to enter something, and this is, I'm not gonna deep dive into it, but this is how the SQL and relational database is looks like in the form of table. And if you have a Mongo database, let me create the Mongo database now, which where I'll define image would be IMAGE Mongo. Okay, so yeah, this is my Mongo image, and this is restart always. You can write if something goes wrong. Definitely 27017 is the port for MongoDB. Volumes to persist the data. Every time the container will reload, it will lose the data. Okay, and if you don't want to lose it, so what you can do is you can persist your data. So it will create the folder here dot data like this, and it will always store your data here. So and the data was already given here, so I'm gonna use a Mongo data here to be more specific. Okay, this directory will get created. Now if I go down, if I stop this, if I create Docker Compose up again, it's gonna, you can see the Mongo data is created. And if I go here, okay, now root and password is my password. Let me edit the connection, remove the connection would be easy, I guess. So yeah, the database is connected. Now if I go and if I edit this, so localhost, and yeah, the database got connected. Now I just need to uh I can see the databases. If I don't have the data, that's why I can't see anything here. So the relational databases will not look like in a form of table. It will just the random flexible data. Okay, so yeah, this is it. This is what I can show you guys for now. And if I go back to Excalibur, uh, now the DevOps thing is remaining. What is DevOps? Why we use DevOps? DevOps is something where we do everything: hosting, DNS, port forwarding, app directories, data, S3 buckets where we store the data, or any buckets, containers, and lots of other things, microservices, and all the terms if you heard about, this comes into the DevOps. But for that we need to know few things. First one is AWS, Azure from Microsoft, Google Cloud Service, GCS maybe, Google Cloud Services, okay, or platform maybe GCP, I'm not sure, GCS or GCP. So these are the three things that you should know to become a DevOps engineer, because I already have a AWS account. So aws.amazon.com, you can go there and you don't have to worry about any financial things because it comes with a free packages. Okay, so if you are very beginner, you just add your card here, credit card details, it will get just 2 rupees, but it in return or any minor amount to just verify. Okay, and once you enter that, I just need to enter my MFA code maybe, because this is super secured, and because I have made this secure to not lose the data, and not lose like so no one can hack my this thing. Okay, and now if I go here, if I add my MFA code, which will pop up on my mobile, which will change in uh, every 10 seconds or 60 seconds, maybe 60 seconds. So this is super secured. Now if I go here, so this is the AWS look like. Okay, these are the services, these are the things that you will see: the cloud watch, cloud formations, lots of other things. All are the things we can use. We can get the databases and all. So these things that you need to know, this is the monthly cost you will get. Okay, so just explore this thing if you want to be a any kind of day of things you are interested in. So this is really very useful to you. These three keywords, just go for it. Another is a kind of digital ocean, which is also important. And else it depends, because there are multiple things that you can work on, but these are the basics. You can get certifications of AWS. I would not go for the certifications if I am a beginner. Okay, digital ocean, okay, this would be my fourth choice, not first choice. Okay, so this is something that I would suggest for now if you want to be a DevOps. But the major part is remaining now, the backend development. And for that backend development, you need to know the many, you have many career options actually in backend. Okay, and I'm assuming that you came from different programming languages. Okay, different programming languages like Java, the first very popular programming language. I'm assuming you know the Python. I'm assuming you know the JavaScript. You know, might be .NET, okay, or C sharp maybe. You might know the C++, okay, C++, but you can't make the the things in C++, so you need to learn these things. But the biggest things like games and all, you always need to make in C++, but this is the another topic completely. Okay, so if you want to become a developer or hacker or whatever it may be, the programming is the primary choice that you need to make. And these are the steps, these, I'm assuming these are the things you know. And the last thing is remaining, I guess I missed, that was the very popular back in time, was PHP, maybe Ruby. Okay, Ruby, Scala, and lots of other programming languages that we use. All the things are for the same purpose. Okay, and but knowing the programming languages is, it's not enough. Okay, it's not get it done. So I'm gonna move this here, I'm gonna move this here, I'm gonna use this PHP here somewhere. So I can I drag this? No, I can't drag this. But now the major things comes into the picture. You know, you have to know the frameworks. If you are familiar with this any programming language, first you need to learn this programming language from w3 schools or tutorialspoint.com, and after that you need to learn individual framework of each programming language. If I am a Java developer, I am interested in Java, I'll definitely learn Spring Boot. Okay, please learn Spring Boot. Okay, if I am a Python developer, I'll definitely learn Django, I'll definitely learn Flask, or I'll learn Fast API. Okay, these are the frameworks that you should know if you wanted to become a Python UI developer or Python backend developer. So this is something that is for you guys. Okay, and this is something for primary for Java developer, Spring or Spring Boot. For JavaScript developer, you have many choices. Okay, again, so like here I'm gonna paste, and the choices would be Node.js. Okay, which would be Express. Of course you need to know Dino. Nowadays most of the developers are using Dino, and these are the things that you should know. Okay, these are the backend things. Okay, JavaScript is also essential for front end. Essential actually, of course, primary thing that you should know, and that is super easy, so no worries. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect this to here. And for C sharp you need to know one more thing, that is uh, .NET. Okay, .NET is an open source framework. If you are not familiar about what is open source and what is not open source, so open source is something any user can contribute and explore the things, like public company. And there are the companies like Flutter, or organizations or community where they have their own community, like Google is managing Flutter. Flutter is used for any UI development. Okay, you can't run backend code in Flutter, by the way, we'll see that later. So now I can connect this C sharp to .NET. Okay, so .NET Core, actually .NET and .NET Core are two different things. So .NET, actually nowadays we call .NET Core to .NET itself, so don't get confused between .NET MVC and .NET. So I'll write .NET itself. And the last Ruby, for Ruby as well, I need to learn Rails, Ruby on Rails. So this is framework for Ruby on Rails that I'll prefer to go with. Okay, so this is the roadmap. This is the roadmap of any front end back end thing. Okay, this is something PHP. For PHP as well, we have many things like Laravel, Code Igniter, and a number of other things that I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, let me write Laravel. Okay, just don't learn this, guys, this is out of date. Code Igniter. Okay, if you're a if you want job quickly, just don't go for it. Cake PHP was very essential, was popular before, and nowadays no one wants to go with the PHP things, super slow, and that's why. And this is done. I'm gonna go to the front end part now. I'm gonna paste here front end. So FE means front end, we call it FE. And in front end you have three things for now, four things actually. The Flutter one, of course, for mobile development, for desktop app application, all-in-one solution is Flutter. You will definitely get job if you learn the Flutter. Another one, JavaScript hierarchy. JavaScript is where you can learn the full stack frameworks like MERN stack and mean stack, MongoDB, React, Node, Express, MongoDB, Angular, Node, Express, MongoDB, Vue, Node, Express, like the way. So for JavaScript hierarchy, you will have Angular. Angular is the first framework. Another framework is Vue.js. Okay, the last framework is your React, which is super popular because another one is Preact, which is a better version of React. Another one is the Solid. Okay, so these are the frameworks where you can choose your career, but I'll suggest to go with the React only, not this many of things. If you are a very beginner, if you want job very quickly, just go and learn React from react.com. Okay, because why I'm telling you guys, because lots of developers don't know the names actually what to learn, because if you know that these things, then only you can proceed. Flutter is the framework, by the way. Flutter is the framework of uh, Dart language. Okay, and why I'm telling you guys, because if you want to make career in desktop environment, or any, if you are interested in Android apps, making Android apps or iOS apps, just go for the Flutter. Search this term, flutter.com. Why we use framework, by the way? Frameworks makes easy to write the code. Okay, it will save your time. That's why learning framework is super easy. Yeah, it will take a while, it will take a time, but once you learn the framework, everything will be super easy for you guys, and you need to master in any one of the framework. I'm not talking about this Angular only. This is made by Google, by the way. I'm not talking about React. This is made by Facebook. I'm not talking about Vue.js. This is made by Evan Vue, and Vue is a kind of in Greek word we call it VIEW, Vue to Vue. So that's how he made. Any framework you can learn, any framework, and just start learning. Okay, and you know the Git already now, you know the databases differences, you know the UX for Figma, you know the Agile, where you have to have experience before DevOps, you know, and this blank box is your choice. Okay, your choice to become a hacker. Okay, ethical hacker. Okay, I'll say slash hacker. So I'll say, who is the best hacker? Because when we go to this career, if you are a college student, you might be thinking that we have seen the movies, I wanted to become an ethical hacker, I learn the things, I'll get the jobs. It doesn't work like that. Hacking comes with the lots of things. If you know the everything, then you will become a hacker. Okay, so don't get confused with yourself. Don't make this choice. Okay, don't be like, no, I'll write some commands, I'll get the data. What you will do if you get the data? If you find the vulnerabilities, you can call it yourself like QA, quality assurance. Okay, and this QA developers, which is finds the things that is not working in your things, and they find something out of the code. They will they will always get something out of the code. They will always find the bugs inside your code, and they'll get appreciated. They will review your code, and they will make sure that every quality should be assured. Okay, that's why we call it QA, not hacker. And just, if you want to be a hacker, just go for the choose your career in QA. That's what I'll suggest, guys. So yeah, this is it for this video. This is for the absolute beginners. If you like it, then please subscribe my channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't already. Smash that like button if you enjoyed, and you can use this thanks button as well. After like button, you can see this thanks button, and please donate something to grow our channel. It would be very appreciated. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Have a good day. See you in the next video. Till then, tada, bye bye. And I need to stop recording.